hours
on and off
of waiting.
Yeah.
Like you'll sit forever.
especially if you're not one of the leads.
Yeah.
And even the leads, I feel like sometimes have to sit for a while to wait for set. And
Yeah, just set up. If they have to
costume,
change
yeah.
a shot
Yeah.
or they have to change location, whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's so much that goes into it. And
Yeah.
it's kind of I had a friend. I mean, we're still friends, and her son has booked some really, really big things.
Mhm.
And she was always hesitant to talk about it, and I kind of understand why now, because you can't really. It's hard to relate, and it's not even. It's just like it's such a weird world.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think a part of it is like some people would not believe you, or some people just think you have it made once you get there, right?
Kind of.
And then they're just like, what are you complaining about?
Kind of. Yeah.
But I mean, and I feel like that circle is so. I mean, like most niches, it's like it's very specialized. Where
Right.
unless you're in it, like the normal people don't understand what you have to go through.
Right.
And
Yeah.
as a parent of an
Oh
actor,
gosh.
and then we also don't know as an actor themselves what they have to go through.
Yeah.
We're just sitting and
You see
ingesting.
the highlights.
Yeah,
Yeah, you see the highlights.
we're just ingesting things, and we're judging because we don't see the effort. Even the worst actor had to go through a lot of,
Yeah, definitely.
effort to get to even that point.
For sure. Yeah, and it's the driving and the like when they get auditions that we have to go to.
Yeah.
Like it's like 5 or 6 hours of a day.
Yeah, just driving.
Yeah, just driving, just getting there, and it's
Yeah.
like 2 minutes of an audition,
Yeah.
which is crazy, but that's how fast it goes.
Yeah.
So it's fun, but it's a lot of dedication. I even tell parents like, don't do it, don't just go do theater.
Yeah, I think that's like a common thing when you get into something like so deep into it.
Yeah.
You're like, well, we are already so far in, we got to just push through.
For sure.
But then you're like, if I could go back in time, I would tell my past self to do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they pushed for it, and that's the other part of it. Like I did not. I was basketball.
Right.
Was
Right.
sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I know sports. I mean, like you said, I knew nothing.
Yeah.
And it was very hard to learn the rope because no one really helps you in this
Yeah.
industry because they are all.
Everyone's trying to climb up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
most of the time over each other, right?
Yeah. Every now and then you meet a good person, but it's hard and it's a lot of rejection.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's only so many roles. There's only so many people that can be in a film.
Right.
Like it's hard to be genuinely nice, but also look out for yourself. And I feel like you have to, especially again, I don't know as much as you, but I feel like you have to really be like a kind of a pit bull in the beginning until you get to a point where you can relax a bit, right?
For sure, but that's what the agent and manager deals with. I take the auditions and we do our best work and that's the other piece of it. Like you always hear if the role's right for you.
Yeah.
No one can take it from you. And forever, I'm like, that's so silly. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
But, like, with Hunter, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And so it made me more of a believer in it because they were like, he is exactly who, and I don't even know why. Like, he's exactly what we're looking for. And I'm like, okay, like, that was a week where there are a lot of different things going on, and the audition came in, and he didn't want to do it, and I didn't want to do it. And I'm like, let's just get it done. And that was the one. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll do it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I think that's a really cool story. Honestly, sometimes I think about it. Like I'm not thinking about like the glamour and the hard working part. I kind of have an understanding.
Yeah.
Not personally, but like I never have any kind of disillusion to like, oh, it's just fun.
Oh, okay, good.
But I do like being in the center of attention.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't know that I could hack it. I think that.
What part do you think is the hacking? The difficult?
I think unless it's a role where it's very similar to my personality, I don't know that I could break out of it and be convincing. I don't think I don't think I can convince someone, for instance, that I am like a super serious romantic character. I don't think that I could pull that off. And so so one of my friends that I met at UCI, he was an Australian exchange student.
Okay.
But I met him through breakdance.
Oh, you breakdance?
I used to. That was a long time ago. Like that was like 50 pounds ago. And I didn't know until he went back to Australia that he had a desire to go into acting.
Okay.
So he's an Asian Australian.
Okay.
So I felt like there was some niche out there for
sure.
that.
Absolutely.
And I think he got his first big role as a dark elf in some sort of sci-fi or fantasy show.
That's cool.
And then from there, his career has taken off.
That's awesome.
But no, he's come back. He's come back. Yeah. But again, so I have a couple people that broke in.
Yeah.
But they documented their journey, so I'm not unaware of how difficult and how they shared very openly the struggles that they faced.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I could do that. But
my kid's manager says the 20-year overnight success story, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, they came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like you have no idea. They've been doing work a long time.
Yeah. Like I see. I think the times that I think about wanting to be an actor is when I see people, and again, I'm discrediting them, I'm sure, but like I see people like Seth Rogen,
Okay.
and that group, like James Franco, like that group, like they usually kind of do a lot of films together.
Yep.
And I feel like they're not acting; they're just being themselves on camera.
You're exactly right.
And so I was like, I could do that if someone wanted to watch me, but I couldn't do something like Christian Bale, where he's like such different roles.
Right.
And or like Gary. Like,
but is he a Seth Rogen?
Who?
Christian Bale. Could he do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's learning how to be yourself.
Yeah.
On camera. Right. Which is way harder than it seems.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's what you would. That's what you would be.
But they did their due diligence. They paid their dues. They did all the work ahead of time, and now they can probably make any movie they want and just be goofballs. Yeah. And it's fine, and people will watch it
for sure.
So that's where I think that's where most actors want to be, where they can just do whatever they want, whenever they want.
And there's so few that get there.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the part. Like my kids expect to be Spider-Man, and I'm like, one person gets to do that.
Yep.
Maybe it'll happen for you, but let's just have fun on the journey. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I love hearing that story. Let's talk about the game a little bit, because we actually have one viewer, and I'm sure they're tuning in to watch the game.
Yes.
But so this is your first season with our league, and like you said, you don't know everyone.
I don't.
But what I know about you is you played college ball, right? So you know a little bit about basketball. I would venture to guess you know probably more than at least half the people in our league. What have you seen in our league that's kind of given you just I'm sure you think a lot about your college days and how competitive and fun that was.
Yeah.
Has anything in this league kind of helped you get back to that sort of competitive mindset, just in the groove of playing basketball, or has this more of just been for you I'm just happy to be on the court again and this is just a fun time to have?
It is fun. I've realized my role is different now. Like when I was in college, my role was to score. That was it. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Now it's not. My role is to help somebody else score.
Sure.
So I've kind of and I'm totally cool with that. That's fine. But it's interesting to be in a different role.
What do you attribute that role change to?
Being older.
So your scoring is tied directly to your age.
No. Not being in the gym, not shooting. First of all, I don't ever touch basketball. Not because I don't want to. I'm just have so much just life. We all know how it goes.
Mom of two actors is probably hard to find time to play pickup.
Right. Yeah. For sure. And I'm so thankful that Steve invited me to do this, because I love basketball. I like watching. I like all of it. And this league is really fun because people try. I understand that not everybody played college basketball, and that not everyone is going to, but everyone is trying to do their best.
And I'm going to tell you right now, you, Jake, and Nate are the only three who have played basketball. Oh, no, Tim as well has played college level ball.
Okay.
Sawyer was recruited, but he did not play in Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
But he was recruited. He was recruited in high school. So 5 people have played college. Everyone else is, half our league is homeschool basketball league. So we had we had one family come from the homeschool league, and they
Okay.
basically invited all their friends. So basically, anyone under the age of 20, you can probably, it's safe to assume they came from that homeschool league.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, all this, it's called actually Christian Heritage.
Oh,
CHS.
okay.
Yeah.
I've not heard of it.
Christian Heritage basketball.
Okay.
So Scott on this white team, he's the older guy. Yeah. He's been the coach of that team for most of his boys. So Jacob's his son, his older son.
Okay.
But he was a coach. Like all of his kids went through that program. So the three siblings here, Nathan, Jacob, and Kristen, they're all siblings. They all went through that.
I didn't know about the program, but I knew they were related.
Yeah. So, and then Ryan right here with the headband, he was a CHS kid. Rhino over there was actually recruited by Ryan. Ryan told me that he played pickup with Rhino.
Yeah.
Found him to be incredibly annoying, but like in a good way, right? Like he's so annoying to play against
I
because
voted
he's so
for him for most. What was it?
entertaining.
That's it.
Yeah. And actually recruited him to play for CHS. So
Okay.
so Rhino was in a public school, transferred out of his public school to the homeschool league just to play with them.
Oh, okay. Do they play? Who they play?
They play like a homeschool league. Like they have their own basketball circuit. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not completely sure how it works.
Okay.
But yeah. So that, and then Brooke right here.
Yeah.
No, that's Amber. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Amber right here. Also went to CHS. That's how she knows
Okay.
the Brummett family.
Oh my gosh, it's all connecting now.
All the young kids sitting over there are CHS people.
Oh,
so like
they did bring everybody.
Yeah.
Oh
So they, and they like the league because their friends play. But I know they also like the league because they get stats. And most young kids love seeing their stats.
Of course. I mean, even I like seeing stats, even though mine are dismal compared to college, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, you're getting there next season, right? You're gonna build upon every season.
I can't. If I could get in the gym more frequently, it would happen. But at the same time, I am playing one with a men's basketball side. Yeah. And two against a bunch of guys who are all taller than me and can jump higher.
Who you actually out rebound most of these guys in the gym. I've seen it.
Out.
You know how to use your body, which again, I'm sure you can tell within 30 seconds who has played organized basketball and who hasn't.
Right. Yeah.
And but again, as I've gotten older, I've gotten less athletic. I've had to use angles more. Like you start to think about all the things you're like, I don't need to do that because I can out jump everyone, I can outrun everyone. Yep. But now we can't do that. So now we have to use angles. We have to use leverage. We have to conserve our energy.
Absolutely.
Right. Like I it's weird for me to think of now. I see basketball as like an economy. Right.
You're not wrong.
Because everyone has a certain amount of energy, especially the older they get. Mm-hmm. So you have to spend your energy the right way. When you're on the offensive end of the court, if you're not taking if the trip doesn't end in a shot attempt, you wasted your money, right?
Okay.
So it's like I feel like this is because of my age. Like it's no longer just like run up and down. Like I can understand how people make the transition to a coach when they basically break away from like it's just dribbling a basketball to there's only so many possessions, there's only so much time, and there's only so many touches that people get.
That's true. And that's something I have noticed because I'm like, why when I get the ball are there like not five people, but like 2 or 3 people on me? When I played in college, I don't remember that. I don't, and it's just spacing. Yeah. And like, because in college or even high school, like you have a spot, you have a play, you have a plan. And their plan really is just to get down the court and try to score. Yep. That's as far as it goes.
How many viewers you have? We got one viewer right now. They're all waiting for your and Scott's prime time. Of course.
Oh, yeah, way more entertaining.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who is it? Is it my parents? We're gonna try.
I don't know. We don't know unless they chat. We don't know who's viewing.
Whoever you are. Yeah. Put in your name in the chat.
Yeah, Matt wants to know who you are. If you're Matt's parents, say hello in the chat.
Or even if you're not Matt's parents, say hello.
Yeah.
That's a real dedicated parent right there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing our game?
So
oh no, it's the draft.
Yes. So they will be doing your game and drafting. They're gonna be doing.
How is that gonna work?
What do you mean?
The draft.
So I have a list of players that are in the player pool for the All-Star game.
How did you come up with the list?
Each team will have 7 players plus 1 alternate. And if any, I do have the list. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a head start because
This is true. He's got to strategize.
yeah. Here's the list.
How many people are on the list? Or how did you make the list? How did you decide?
So you can look at it.
I'm on the list.
You're on the list.
Wow.
So it was half player votes.
Okay.
So popularity contest.
Of course.
And then half just to be completely transparent, I have told my captains for the past 2 seasons, I want the captains to nominate players, not necessarily the best players, but players that they think deserve, like that would be good on the court, like that know how to play basketball, that are team players, because like I just want a really good game. So every season, so this is your first season. So I started this 3 seasons ago, but the All-Star event. So before the championship day, I would just have 2 hours of open gym leading up to the the championship game. No one really showed up, so I was like, let's try something new. So I was like, All-Star game. Really, it's a way for me to help reward my captains because oftentimes when there's playing time issues, most of my captains will sacrifice their playing time so that their team can play.
Right.
And so I want to give them basically 1 extra game.
That's
so my captains are always in the All-Star game, and then the first 2 seasons was pure popularity contest. So it was whoever got the most votes got to be on the court.
Okay.
And then I realized, I was like, you know what? I want like a good competitive game with people who understand basketball and also people who have shown up and helped a lot.
Yeah.
So I was telling captains, each captain gets 1 nomination of a player that may not get a popular vote, but they think deserve to be in the game for various reasons.
Yeah.
My captains haven't done that.
No.
I usually just say like one or two that will be like, can you put this person in? I'm like, yes. So really, it's half popularity contest and half who I want in the game.
Fair. I mean, you do run the show.
I do. But this is what I told everyone: if you don't vote, I do things. So if you don't want me to do everything, then
you're doing a great job. This is a lot.
I appreciate it. But yeah, so that's what our All-Star game is. But yes, you are nominated. You will be on a team.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll be. Oh, you said you'll be.
I'll be here.
You'll be here. Okay, good.
Up again, but I think it's gonna be after
July.
Good.
So
next week, right?
Next week.
I'll be here.
So we have other All-Star events. We have a 3-point shooting contest. We have a skills challenge, and if I have the headspace, I'm gonna create a 3rd challenge, just like events.
You want some help? Oh,
if you have an idea, I'll be willing to.
It's 3-point, and what's the other one?
3-point. So it's like a skills challenge. So it's kind of like the, that like dribble through, make a layup.
Yeah.
So I did something similar to that, but the one tricky one was you had to bounce past the ball onto the chair and have to land in the chair.
Oh, that is hard.
So I mean they seem to have fun with it.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's 3-point and then the skills thing? And you want one more? What are you thinking about? Well, what are you thinking about?
So I think one of the things I thought about is possibly a game of knockout.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, a game of knockout would be simple, but that's all I got to. I haven't thought about anything else because again I gave it out to my captains. Hey captains, what ideas you have? And it's crickets. So
it's cricket. Okay.
So it's usually I have to come up with everything.
Okay, let me help you.
But yeah, if you think of something, I'll see if we can logistically get it to work.
Okay. Well, it should be something. I'm surprised you have a free throw competition. That's really simple and also mentally challenging.
Well, time is a factor.
Oh, time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it could be the best of 5. How many people are? Wait, hold on. Yeah. How many people are competing? I guess that's where I need to ask the question.
So last season we had 8 people in the 3-point contest and 4 people in the skills challenge. So
do they just decide they want to do it?
Yeah, anyone can sign up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone can sign up. I usually request certain people. I think you'd be good at this. You should do it.
Okay.
And then, because again, getting people to participate is very difficult.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think half the people don't read my emails.
I like your emails.
I
like how you sign off.
Thank you. I like to say that probably the only people who read my emails are all over the age of 30.
Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah. Because the people who tell me that they like their emails are all over the age of 30. all the young kids have never. I don't think they read the emails.
You're
So
probably
that's why I had to create an Instagram. Because I feel like at least then
Are they following you?
they like my posts, so at least I know that some of them are looking at it.
Yeah, they actually are seeing it. That's true. It's harder to get their attention.
Yeah.
It needs to be like short, quick pieces of information. I get that.
So yeah, so that's yeah. But anyway, so let's pause and get back into the game a little bit. We have done almost none of that.
I know.
Which is fine. But it's 49-41. Mm-hmm. The Knights are up, which is the white team, and they're the favorite team to win. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Are you rooting for them at all?
I tend to root for the underdog.
Okay.
Except I really like some of the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Kristen and so it's hard for me to not root for them.
Yeah.
To win.
So I'm gonna tell you some backstory that might help you root for them more. So Jacob with the ball, he's played with us since season 1.
Okay.
He's made it to the finals 7 out of 9 seasons. Okay. And he's never won.
Okay.
So he's on his quest for his first championship.
Okay.
I
say it's time for him.
This is the second time the Brummett family has played together. The first time they got knocked out in the semifinals.
Oh man, by the way, did you not knock out our team last week?
We did.
With 4 people.
We did. Okay. I want to say this too. We almost lost.
I know.
Yeah.
But you should have. Has Steve not played for other teams this year?
So we during the regular season, I allow captains and co-captains to play for other teams. In the playoffs, I gave Tyler the choice. I said, okay, you can recruit 2 players and have a competitive game, but take a loss, or play with 4, and if you win, you can advance. So the teams in the playoffs, they have the option to, but if you take a sub, you don't get to advance, because I want your team, to be responsible for advancing themselves.
I see. I figured you get it. It was really bad timing on our side.
It was, and honestly, if you had 1 more player, you guys would have won.
You know,
because Tyler had a wonderful game. Mm-hmm. And honestly, you just needed 1 more person to space the floor against us, and you would have won. Because my team is god awful at passing the ball. Like, it is so frustrating to me, because my whole philosophy is I would rather have a bad shot than a turnover. I would rather have you chuck the ball up from half court than a turnover.
Okay, but no, that's still a turnover. You may as well turn the ball.
Because that shot had a chance to go in.
Maybe.
You turn the ball over, there's 0 chance. What? You've seen bad players make shots. You've played pickup games where you leave one person open on purpose and they make the game winner, and then you go home mad because
this is true. Yeah. This is true.
So I'm just saying, a shot, even if it's a bad one, has a chance to go in. A turnover, you have no chance to go in.
Okay.
My team is awful at keeping the ball safe.
Yeah.
And I told my team, so Kai put me in charge of scouting report.
Okay.
I told them, you have 1 job this week, especially because Tyler has 4 players. If you see Tyler in a passing lane, don't pass it there. Because I don't trust them to make a good pass. So I was like, if you see Tyler, don't pass it there. You know what happened the first 5 plays? They passed it to Tyler 4 of the 5 plays. And you guys went up by 8. All right. The first time we played against you, we were down by you guys went up by 22.
I know I was not there for that game, but
so that was the same thing I said. Do not pass it to where Tyler is, because Tyler has one of the longest wingspans in our league, and he also can anticipate where the ball is going to go really easily.
Yeah.
You guys can't even use a bounce pass, so you're not going to fake him out. So don't pass it to where he is. But it's very hard for my team to follow directions. That we had I think we averaged 12 turnovers a game, if not more.
Oh my, it's all right.
It's learning for some, but I think some people it's hard for them to understand that concept of how to pass the ball.
Right. Well, you need to have spacing, the right spacing on the floor, and that is where you get in trouble.
So right now, their
spacing's good.
Their spacing's really good.
And the Knights.
Yeah, the Knights, they're slowing it down because they're up by 8.
Yeah.
They're up by 8 with 3 minutes left. So, smart basketball would be slow the game down, right? Run time off the clock and get a smart shot.
Yep.
Sawyer's team just let Nate dribble for like 10 seconds with no pressure.
Yep.
So again, so these are like the little things that happen that people don't, like you understand like, oh yeah, these people haven't played organized basketball.
Yeah.
So they're not understanding that time is against them, and then they just let Nate waste 15 of their seconds that they could have gotten the ball back to score.
Yeah.
But
that takes a lot to learn, like to learn the timing and the strategy behind the game.
Yeah, and I think that I think that's what prevents a lot of people from really growing as a player, is understanding the game as a whole versus their individual role in it.
Right.
And so what level of experience would you think I have based on hearing me talk and seeing me? I won't be offended. So just be honest.
I mean, did you play in high school or no?
I did not. I played 2 years of youth basketball.
That's it? You must do a lot of studying of the game.
So I wouldn't say that I do, but I wish that I had gotten into basketball earlier. That's one of my big regrets as a kid, is I went into baseball first. I hated baseball, but I stuck with it for 4 years.
Oh gosh.
And then I switched to basketball. I was like, I love this. And then by that time, there were no youth leagues for 12 to 16. So my only opportunity to play at that age, organized ball, was high school, and I couldn't make the team.
Did you have 9th grade junior varsity, or did you just have one team?
Yeah, we had 3. Yeah, we had all 3. But you know, and a lot of it was my city was kind of smaller, so there was like a track. Like a lot of the people who went onto the team, you know, they went through that process, and I was nowhere near. Not to say I was better than anyone, but I definitely was better than probably the last 2 players on the bench.
Oh, that's hard.
Which again, it's like, I get it.
I know.
I don't think I would have been able to play. That's the problem. Is I think I would have rather not been on the team.
Really?
Yeah, because I like to play. I'd rather play a lot on a bad team than ride the bench on a good team.
I come from the totally opposite thing. Like getting into basketball is almost like a fluke, because in 7th grade, the basketball coach for 8th grade saw me at intramurals, and I was tall.
Yeah.
And that is the only reason I shoot a free throw.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, you need to come to camp with us this summer. And I knew zero about basketball. And I shot the ball at the basket. I dribbled everywhere out of bounds. I didn't know what I was doing. It was awful. It was so embarrassing. But I stuck with it.
But you stuck with it, yeah.
And I played all that summer, and I ended up making the 8th grade team. And then that's how I got in the track. But that's how our track worked.
Yeah.
They took the middle schoolers and put them in high school. But I ended up making varsity my 9th grade year. And it's like, oh wow, but it actually was awful, because all my friends were mad at me, and so they stopped talking. And I'm like, well, now I have no friends.
Yeah, thanks
so
a lot.
It was hard. Yeah, it was rough, but
you can thank your genetics for that.
Yes, I can. But I'm happy to be tall.
Yeah.
I can eat more.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of experience, but I like to think that I understand the game a lot better than most people. I like to think that I try hard on defense, because I know how important that is. That side of
that's what wins basketball games.
Defense. And that's what I prided myself on. And once I started realizing how slow and how little lift I was getting, I realized I wasn't going to be scoring a lot. So I had to. That's what I had to develop. So but I know how to pass the ball. I know how to take smart shots. And I think that's something that it's hard for a lot of players to grasp.
Like that's like the thing about basketball. Short. Oh, that did not look like that felt good.
No. So, but yeah, so this is again close game. It was close. Yeah, 43 seconds.
I think the Knights have got it.
Actually, 34 seconds. So the clock is a little behind.
Okay.
Yeah, the Knights have got it, and honestly, it was. This season has been theirs to win. As long as they stayed healthy and as long as they showed up, I think they were going to win.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak too soon.
Yeah, don't jinx it. Yeah. You're like those commentators when they're talking on their free throws.
Yeah. But I mean, I think every team has seen them play, and every team is, aside from being their minds being blown at how this team was able to be formed.
Yeah. I'm still questioning how that happened.
So every season our captains draft their teams, and I'm just gonna say that really good move by Ryan. Rhino fell in Jacob's lap.
He fell in his lap.
Fell into his lap. That's basically how that happened.
I see.
But last season, Sawyer had Nathan and Tim on his team.
Okay.
And people wondered how that happened.
I can see why. I can see why.
Nate ended up not showing up, and they lost. So his team from last season is pretty salty about it because Nate has showed up to every game this season.
Well, yeah.
And I said it's because his older brother.
I was gonna say he has family pressure.
Yep.
To be on the court.
Yeah.
They were our first game of the season, by the way.
And you guys held them to 2 points for 5 minutes.
I know. Well, we tried.
Yeah.
But
it's hard. Yeah. Every team has its strengths and weaknesses. Your team struggled with ball handling.
Yeah.
When Tyler's not on the court, there's a lot of really bad ball movement or none ball movement.
Yeah, the moving the ball.
Yeah,
is important, and the spacing.
Yeah, and so like the rotations are difficult with 9 players. So just to let you know, we had this issue with playing time, and so we decided to cap the league at 8 players per team because that's a lot more manageable with rotations.
Yeah.
Most of the time you'll miss 1 player, you have 7, and that's a lot. I think 7's the sweet spot. 7 players in this type of league in terms of like getting players enough minutes and also have maximizing
until people start falling off of your team, like our team. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So but this season we increased it to 9 because I had 80 people sign up, and I felt bad saying no to 20 people because I'm not willing to commit another hour to expand our leagues to.
I hear you. It's already. I don't even. How much time does this take you? Like in your.
Every Sunday 4 hours
for sure.
Yeah.
But like
and then during the week, it's like I would say 20 to 30 hours minimum.
That's a lot. You don't need any help. You need more help.
I've asked for help.
I'll help you. I will. No, because I love basketball. Yeah. I will. I'll help you.
So this is what happens, Jessica.
Okay.
I'm not saying this is what's going to happen with you.
Okay.
But people tell me that they'll help me.
Okay.
And then their lives get busy. And
they get that.
And then I don't blame them. Like,
yeah.
I'm not paying anyone. I'm not paying myself either. So that's what happens. It's like it's hard. It's because this is basically volunteer.
I will help you, and I will not help you unless I say I cannot help you this week because of X. Yeah. Then you'll know I cannot help.
But yeah, so Knights are winning. They're going to advance and play Justin's team, which I think should be a good game. Hopefully they get their team worked out. They had some drama. I don't know if you saw that unfold.
When?
This past game, yeah.
I must have missed it.
You must have missed it.
I need to be filled in later off.
They needed their captain to kind of be a cooler head.
I'm going, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you get warmed up, but thank you for joining me on stream. Thank you to our one viewer, and we'll be doing our All-Star Draft live next.
Yay!